In simpler language, theatre was performed at all kinds of occasions, but perhaps most of all when the king became victorious, or when the king had a very special celebration. Well, some people would say that this was done in order to show that the king is supreme. But I would put it the other way, that it is an artistic king who will order, who would like that dramatic performances are done. And this also shows that this is a community art which needs patronage. You cannot have theatre unless there is a huge patronage, unless there is a team which is hosted for performance. I can sit down and make a painting. I can sit down and write a poem, and maybe other people come to know about it 50 years after I am gone. But Natya is done there and then. You see, try to understand that it needs more than anything else, it needs patronage, because it has a team and it always needs an audience. There can be no Natya, there can be no performance, there can be no cinema without the audience. The audience is the first thing. So to collect an audience, then to make a performance requires big resources, and these resources in older societies were in the hands of, more than anybody else, in the hands of the king, the royalty, the aristocracy. And therefore, the association of Natya with aristocracy does not mean that they were beating a drum for aristocracy. That literature and poetry was being used to justify kingship. You see, there is again a whole theory about this, that all literary activity was being done so that the king could be valorized, so that the king could be justified. Now that is far from the truth. It is only to acknowledge the fact that financial assistance, that financial arrangements were needed. In India, Natya was performed not just at the king's behest, not just at the royal court, or as a matter of fact, never in the royal court, but not even in the royal expanse of the royal palaces. Natya was performed in huge public places like temple courtyards, like city grounds. You see, the players were invited, and very often the players came from far off, maybe from another end of the country. Then a big area where a huge gathering could take place was consecrated. A theatre house was built. It was built by temporary material like earth and wood and tapestry. That's why we do not have any ancient stone theatre houses surviving in India. All this was done publicly for the public. It was not a royal affair. The king was providing it for the public, because that was in keeping with the spirit of providing knowledge and understanding to those who are uninitiated, those who have not read the Vedas. The whole system was such that it is the large number of people who participate and who get the maximum benefit.